Do you live a life of financial bondage? You might and don't even know it. Do you make it a point to put a certain amount of your paycheck each month into a savings account in order to have the money available you need to make purchases each month instead of using a credit card? If you use a credit card multiple times a month for everyday items that you need or want, do you pay the balance off each month? Or do you accumulate the interest fees that slows the payoff balance amount way down? Are you aware of what your interest rate is for your credit cards? Do you know what day of the month your monthly statement rolls over and the interest is charged? Consider cash. Maybe you're that person who pays cash for everything. You're great at saving your money. You have great self-control of the peer pressure of your neighbors and friends. When your children pressure you for another video game or a cell phone, do you teach them to save their money and pay half of the bill so that they are learning to appreciate the value of money? When you pay cash for everything, you can honestly say that the amount you paid is what you paid, that there was no interest added. That was the purchase price. The only problem with paying cash for everything is that a person will not build their credit. For most people, we need a credit card during vacations. We need a credit card to reserve a rental car or a hotel room, an airline ticket. If you do shopping online, it's most likely you'll probably need a credit card. There is a great comfort and peace that comes when to be in a situation where you can pay cash for things that you want. Those who frequently use a credit card have said, that's the American way. It's the way to live. It's true that the only way to build credit is to use it. On creditcard.com, many people get into credit card debt not because they make big, huge purchases, but because they use their card frequently and they don't make payments every month to pay off the balance. If you're smart, you can use that same principle to work for you and not against you. Instead of making a single credit card payment each month, you can spread the bill out over several small payments that are less painful. Consider multiple payment advantages. This was amazing to me. If you make multiple payments each month, it can line up your payments with your paycheck. Make a small payment every week instead of one big one each month. This will help with your cash flow. If you make credit card debt more, you can pay down credit card debt more quickly. In the same way, a bi-weekly mortgage works. With bi-weekly mortgages, homeowners pay half of their monthly mortgage every 2 weeks. So when you're at the end of a year, you actually pay for 13 months instead of 12. This is really amazing. This will cut down up to 7 years on a 30-year mortgage. Wow, isn't that enough to change? I was amazed. From discover.com, how is it calculated for your APR on it for the daily percentage rate? Divide the APR by 365, the number of days a year. At the end of each day, the card issuer will multiply your current balance by the daily rate to come up with the daily interest charge. That charge is then added to your balance the next day, a process called compounding. So when I mention making multiple payments each month, not just one time a month, this is a better way to understand why it's so beneficial to make more payments, to keep that balance coming down. When's the best time to pay? Well, figure out what your grace period is. Find out what the grace period is, the beginning of the statement to the end of the statement, and when that rolls over. That is what you need to find out. So capitalizing on the grace period's break on interest charges can save the typical cardholder a couple $100s a month. But the savings aren't automatically. According to an October 2013 report by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, it's unclear when consumers understand the grace period. It's basically an interest-free period, but only if you pay it by the due date. So you need to find out when that due date is each month. And this came out from Nessa Fedis, General Counsel at the American Bankers Association. Also on creditcard.com, Americans have created billions of dollars worth of debt over the past 45 years, and credit card debt has been an important part of that. Credit card debt dove along with consumer spending during the 2008 financial crisis, and slow growth has kept total revolving debt at pre-crisis levels, though it is creeping up. According to figures from the Federal Reserve, total U.S. outstanding consumer debt was $3.62 trillion as of May 2016. That figure includes car loans, student loans, revolving debt, but not mortgages. Total U.S. outstanding revolving debt, which is chiefly made up of credit card balances, was $953.3 billion as of May 2016. Wow. Isn't that enough to change how you do your finances? The amount of credit card debt has been steadily increasing over the long term. As of 2013, a person born between 1980 and 1984 had an average of $5,689 more in credit card debt than his or her parents did. Those born between 1950 and 54 at the same stage of life, and 8,100 more in credit card debt than his or her grandparents, those born between 1920 and 1924. Wow, we need to make a change. Several years ago, we decided to put $50 to $100 of a paycheck into a savings account. And over a short period of time, that grew up to $2,000. Before we knew it, time flies. Make the change, make some plans. Go to LDS.org and look up the One for the Money Guide to Family Finances. This lays out a great plan for you. They give you a worksheet with a debt eliminating calendar and helps you get started. Make that change today. Do it for you and your family.